Mississippi.org. And it is the best time of year, or should I say the yummiest time of year, talking about it is Girl Scout cookie time. And you know, every time a new year kicks off, you have all the little cookie cartel, as we will call them today and hear about later, getting out and trying to encourage you to buy some of their cookies, and all for good reason. So if you are tuned in to supertalk.fm/watch or Supertalk TV, you'll see I'm not alone. I even got me some cookies in the studio with me today, and I've got two representatives with the Girl Scouts of Greater Mississippi. I've got Ashley and Mary with me. Hey, ladies.
Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Rhino.
And to say we've got it going on the Good Things Facebook group, and we'll obviously open up the C Spire text line. You know the drill. You're going to have to tell me what your favorite Girl Scout cookie is, and we will see at the end of the show which one sort of weighs out. But I bet by sales, Mary, you probably know which cookie usually is at the top in terms of favorites, or does it change every year?
Well, it doesn't change every year. In the United States, the number one cookie is the Girl Scouts. In the great state of Mississippi, the number one cookie is my favorite, which is Samoa's.
I've never met a Girl Scout cookie that I didn't necessarily like, and I know y'all have a new flavor out this year, which we will get to that. And I feel like the Girl Scouts is something everybody's at least familiar with. Either you've had, young women in your own family or young girls who have participated, or you have friends or family that have done it, or you've just met them out during this time of year and bought cookies from them. But let's go back to maybe the main mission and the purpose of Girl Scouts. Ashley, do you tell us a little bit about Girl Scouts?
Absolutely. I mean, we're so excited about this time of year, but definitely it's an experience that empowers our girls, and it really teaches them some wonderful leadership qualities and entrepreneurship. And this is a great time for them to truly, really start their own business and be successful and do goal setting and money management and have a good time while they do it, and spread all of our cookie love across the state of Mississippi.
So when can a young girl get started with Girl Scouts?
They can start when they're in kindergarten or 5 years old.
And you have the different names for the different levels of Girl Scouts. So start me off, Mary?
We start with daisies, and then we end with ambassadors, and those girls are seniors in high school.
And so really it kind of follows them and provides opportunities appropriate at the different levels and stages. And you earn the badges through, I guess, the different enrichment activities. Do we still have badges?
100%.
Yes.
I mean, that's why you do all the fun things, right? Is to collect sort of those badges in particular. And cookies is obviously one of the badges, I would assume.
We have fun patches, and then we have cookie badges. And the cookie badges are based on the journey. So, for example, you can earn a cookie badge through selling cookies.
Which I think every Girl Scout loves to get that one, or sort of this time of year. But there's definitely the other parts of the program, other than just the cookies, that keeps kids coming back, or even generationally. I mean, you have parents who are now putting their young girls in it, or you have siblings that have all sort of gone through the program and the process. And what is it about the community that's built in each of the Girl Scouts groups? What do you call troops?
Sure.
That's the word I was looking for.
That's
troops.
all right. Very close.
That keeps people coming back or keeps them engaged.
You know, I think probably one of the biggest things is just the camaraderie and the team goal setting, and the idea of having the opportunity to start selling right now in the friendly competition that they do amongst each other. And then definitely when it comes time for booth sales, which will happen later in February. But I think all of that, along with the good that they can do with the money that they've raised from the cookie sales, as well as the opportunity to attend one of our camps in Mississippi, many of the other programs and community-focused things. You hear of so many, and we come in contact with all sorts of troops that do a lot of really neat things. Had an amazing food drive competition back in the fall that was really spearheaded by our to own Tisha Graves, and then Mary can share a lot about that. She worked closely with all the troops. It was just an unbelievable time, and I think those are the kind of things that they can make a difference as volunteers, and then they also can make a difference with the impact from the money that they raise through cookie sales.
Forgive me for not remembering the exact troop. So if they're listening to Good Things, which I know sometimes they do, I'm sorry. But there was one here in central Mississippi who came together and learned quilting. And they quilted, I can't remember how many quilts it was, but it was an enormous amount. And then donated them to Children's of Mississippi, which I thought was such a remarkable way to sort of utilize, all their skills, collect badges, and then give back to the community. Because I think we forget that piece. We think of them as just, our cookie connoisseurs or our cookie entrepreneurs, but we forget that money doesn't just go in their pockets. It goes back into our communities.
It stays in the community, and Girl Scouts have been around for 110 years, and the money that the Girl Scouts earn through their troop sales does stay in the community. They make a decision as a troop. Do we want to make a quilt, like we said, or do we want to have an individual project where we're working at Stew Pot and helping those families down there? So it's really special. Our mission is to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place.
Well, my little small stint as a brownie, Ashley, the highlight, I wasn't the best cookie salesman. I've never been good at asking people to buy things. I was good at giving cookies away, but I loved camp. I was always my favorite.
Yes.
I mean, you got to go to camp and have like the best time ever with your troop and your new friends, and those are still some of the most fondest memories. So, what does camp look like today in Mississippi for Girl Scouts?
Oh, I mean, you could not have said it better. In fact, I just had the opportunity to get to go to Camp Wahi in Brandon in early December, and I was completely blown away. As a child, I remember attending that camp, just as you said, and the memories that I made and the friendships that I made, and then being able to have all three of my daughters attend and go there, and then to go back and see what all has been done. We've got an incredible property and building committee that has just dedicated countless time every single week for months, along with one of our very own troop leaders locally that's serving as the architect. And money raised has just done amazing things with Camp Wahi. We've been able to completely do Great Hall, which is the lodge / cafeteria program center area, as well as all of the campsites are completely redone. Beautiful new bathrooms. You would not think this is camping. It's luxury at its best. It's just so bright and impressive. A lot of clearing of a lot of the land and redoing of roads and trails. And they've got a second phase that's upcoming that we're looking so forward to getting the chance to add a lot of different highlights, such as potentially archery and just some really exciting other things that are on the horizon as we work with donors and, just appeal to different community leaders to, if they have a place in their heart for camp, to make that a priority.
Obviously, our Girl Scouts of Mississippi get to go to that camp, but does that open up to others outside the state, or is that just for our Girl Scouts?
Great question. So we've got two camps. We've got Camp Etikana that's in Wiggins, so that kind of services, I guess, some of our Coast / Hattiesburg people, and then Camp Wahi is really a focus for all of our, I guess, kind of Metro Jackson area. Certainly we, in the expansion and all the improvements that we're making at camp, we really want to make that an opportunity for businesses and other people to be able to utilize it. It's a great location, and all of the improvements have made it where we hope to be able to open that up to a lot more groups.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Everybody should have the opportunity to go to camp. I know as an adult, you send your kids off to these fun summer places, and you're thinking, well, where's the camp for adults? I want to be able to go and have fun. I like the luxury bathroom instead of maybe what camp was for me back in late 80s, early 90s. But as a kid, you really didn't mind it that much. It was more about the memories and the experience, which I'm sure hasn't changed much with the camps.
I completely agree. I think that's part of the memory probably is the bathrooms and that quote unquote you survived those things. But for me, I just remember walking in and seeing them in early December and the impact, all the change and how bright it is and how nice. That was just one of the things that really stuck out to me.
I remember Q-tips and Dawn dish soap will back a tick out. So you didn't have to.
That's good to know. You heard it here first.
It's one of those just survival skills that every Girl Scout or every country girl or boy should absolutely have. And so you don't need anything sharp, and you don't need it, to hurt yourself. All you need is a Q-tip, little Dawn dish soap on the end of it, set it up, and he'll back, or she. I don't know how that works.
Chicks have gender.
You know what? They're binary. Who knows? They back right on out, and then you can discard them with how you want to. Yeah, your little fun tip today. We've got more fun tips for you with the Girl Scouts of Greater Mississippi coming. We're finding out more about the Girl Scouts of Greater Mississippi. And joining us on Good Things is Sheriff Johnson of Lee County, where his department put out an addictive substance awareness campaign, knowing that they were going to be arriving soon in their area and how they were going to handle with the cookie cartel, which I think is so much fun. So welcome, Sheriff Johnson.
Thank you very much. Glad to be on.
All righty. So what are you going to do? How are you going to round up this cookie cartel and handle these addictive substances found in these delicious cookies?
Well, we have a great community that works well with us, and if you have a problem disposing of any of this substance that's being sent out by these girls, you just bring it by the sheriff's department, and I have several deputies that are assigned that's going to get rid of this stuff, and it's not going to ever be in the hands of people that don't need it. So you just bring those cookies by the sheriff's office, and we'll take care of them.
I hear the Lee County Sheriff's Department has some certified cookie sampling deputies that are ready and able to take care of any cookie disaster that may happen from a Girl Scout cookie. Sheriff, I think this is so much fun. I think this is a great time to kind of have a little tongue in cheek. Where did this come from? Do your officers just love the Girl Scouts that much?
Well, we have always been connected, with the Girl Scouts and organizations that do positive things for our community, and the Girl Scouts have been a great organization here. We just wanted to do what we could to try to support their cause, and to be honest, the idea actually came from my daughter that's a teacher at North Pontotoc, and one of her girls come to her and said, hey, this would be a great idea. Do you think your dad might want to participate in this? So I have to give credit where credit's due, but we were glad to do it, and we put a lot of posts out about arrest, about public awareness, but I believe the number of visits and the number of people that has looked at this site has been overwhelming of the support that we've had. So, we're appreciative of the community for supporting this cause.
The last I checked, Sheriff Johnson, y'all have been shared about 870-something times with this fun post. I think one thing that unites us all is our love for Girl Scout cookies. We may dispute on which cookie is the best, but we all know that this time of year is the perfect time of year to go ahead and stock up with them. So I have to ask, Sheriff Johnson, what's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
My favorite Girl Scout cookie is the Lemon Ups. That is the best. So any listener that's out there that wants to know how to please the Sheriff of Lee County, you've got the secret recipe right there. You know what?
And I think you got on something for all the sheriffs across Mississippi. I mean, if you want to get in good or do something kind, just get a box of multiple boxes of the different kind, drop them off at your local police department, give them 2 thumbs up, and let them know that you appreciate their service as much as we appreciate the fun that you guys were willing to have online.
Well, that is absolutely true, and we certainly appreciate you putting us on. And again, thank you for the Girl Scouts doing this and for the community and supporting it.
That cookie cartel, if we see them out there, Sheriff, we will make sure that we get them to your certified cookie sampling deputies there in Lee County. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, and God bless.
God bless. Yeah, everyone loves a Girl Scout cookie, and I think that's just a great story. Ladies who's still joining me here, if you're watching at SuperTalk TV, you'll see I'm not alone in the studio. I've got Ashley and Mary with the Greater Girl Scouts of Mississippi, or Girl Scouts of Greater Mississippi, should I say. And, not everything unites us like cookies or good food. And so how does it feel to hear that the Lee County Sheriff's Department is rounding up the cookie cartel?
I think it's sweet. One of the things that we do at the end of our cookie season, we have a program called Cookies for Heroes. And you're able to, if you're approached by a Girl Scout and you are diabetic or you're on a diet and don't want to enjoy the cookies yourself, you can make a donation. And then we give those cookies to first responders, to our law enforcement officials, to our active duty military men and women serving locally and overseas.
So another good little tidbit about the Girl Scouts you may not have known about. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty with the cookies. I know it's exciting. There's a new flavor in town, which I had the chance to taste test earlier here on Good Things, which is the Adventurefuls.
Adventurefuls.
So tell us about that.
It's a brownie, it's caramel, it's sea salt, it's all of the good things all rolled in one. So Girl Scouts right now are taking pre-orders. We started on Saturday. And so if you know a Girl Scout, approach them. Certainly place your order for delivery. And then on February the 13th, we start our cookie booth sales. So at local retailers like Walmart or Kroger or Lowe's, girls will have cookie booths set up, and you can buy them directly. So that's when we say we're flooding the streets with this
and has
product.
Last year, did it look any different? Are we back to normal sort of this year? I can only imagine the wrinkles in the normalcy for cookie sales, with which we all have sort of endured over the last 24 months.
Listen, in 2020, we were fortunate to have finished the cookie sale right before the pandemic started. In 2021, we didn't really know how it was going to look. I wish that we would have a season this year like we did last year, because we were slammed with pre-orders and with booth sales. People really wanted to get back to things in their life.
Well, they ate through their stash.
They ate through their stash.
That's right.
They were eating their COVID feelings. We had a tremendous cookie season last year, and we hope the same this year as well.
Which, again, I think it's good to remind you listening is when you are approached and you're trying to decide in your mind whether to buy a box or not. And let's be honest, you're probably going to walk out of the grocery store with some junk food anyway, or some desserts of some kind. But how much of that money is going to actually stay in the state of Mississippi to then help develop the young girls and through, community projects or them seeking their badges or getting to go to fun camps. So, I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer. If you're going to have snacks in the house anyway, you might as well just go ahead, buy a box or two while you're there, just get it, and then you do feel like, though, Mary, if you go one place and you buy your quota and then you go to another place, you feel like you have to confess to them, I already got mine. So you're not just walking by sort of empty-handed. You let them know, like, I have supported, or whatever, or you just go ahead and buy a little extra, because from what I hear, they freeze well.
They do freeze well.
They do.
And Rebecca, you as a nutritionist in your background know there are different benefits to all of the cookies. Thin Mints, for example, are vegan, and they do freeze beautifully. And there's certainly no judgment at a Girl Scout cookie booth. If you want to buy a bundle of 5 boxes for $20, then we appreciate that support.
Or is there any friendly competition between the troops on cookie sales, or do y'all try not to make it about the money?
No, it is. It's not necessarily about the money.
Or
it's
the
definitely
boxes.
about your goal setting and the money management skills, but we do honor and celebrate the top 10 cookie sellers across the state. And these little girls, I mean, they're really out there working in their communities to sell as many boxes as they can to earn as much money as they can for their troops.
And you can imagine, too, what this does for a young girl's confidence, as well as just entrepreneurial sort of skills, and just realizing that you can ask. The worst thing that can be said is like, no, thank you, or move on. But then putting yourself out there just a little bit, and, you may get this great return on your time and investment. And there's always good stories that come out of cookie time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I don't know anybody who doesn't like a Girl Scout cookie. If you do, you're weird.
Well, we think
Can
maybe,
I say that?
Of course. Maybe they're a Martian or someplace. Rebecca, you can tell that you were a brownie, and you can tell that you really support the mission of Girl Scouts and female empowerment and our entrepreneur program. We appreciate you.
Well, I think, and I'm also a mom of 2 young girls. And although my oldest she's of age, she hasn't made it into the Girl Scouts yet. I just appreciate anything that, just lets them have their own community with girls, but still empowers them in the different ways, but not in the way of you should be better than boys or different, that you can be different, but still good. Like, to me, I think it's just a great message, and it teaches them to, reach outside their comfort zones and go for the different badges that maybe they wouldn't have necessarily done for themselves, which I know you guys have really expanded the badges too, to offer like STEM, outdoors, all kinds of other skills as well.
Different leadership programs. They're all journeys, and they're all part of the pillars that we have in the Girl Scouts. Ashley probably can speak to it more clearly, because her girls were super involved in the Girl Scouts growing up.
It just taught them so many different skill sets. And like you said, going back to the fact of building confidence, I mean, there's nothing better than seeing them come out of their shell and having that confidence to say, I'm going to set this goal, and understanding the budget planning process, understanding that in pre-ordering, the communication that they have to have, back to the council to let us know, what they have committed to pre-sale. And I just think it's all around a tremendous opportunity opportunity. And for the rest of their lives, of course, sure, somebody's going to tell them no to something. So, I mean, it definitely, I think teaches them that confidence is a great thing, and to accept that no, thank you, with, the best of attitude, and move on to the next house.
Say no to a Girl Scout with a table full of
doubt
cookies?
many.
I doubt many. One story, too, we've shared several outstanding Girl Scouts here on Good Things where she was able to use her training, and she stinted her arm or whatever it was while she was out and had a thing. So, like, from ticks to, fixing
First
broken
aid
arms,
and
first aid, all the things. You never know when you're going to need the information of a
all
Girl
the
Scout.
good things.
How can we find out about local troops or getting involved?
gsgms.org is our website, and there's a lot of information on there, how to donate to great causes like Camp Wahi, how to find a troop, how to find the cookie locator in about a month from now to find a cookie booth so you can go out and get your Thin Mints or get your Samoas.
All right, Samoas are winning on the text line. So if you have a different cookie you would like to vote for, 601-879-4395. But thank you, ladies, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Stick with us. We've got more good for you coming up next.